Hello students, how are you all? Okay, so today we will start with the geography chapter number 4, agriculture. We all know that two-thirds of Indian population depend on agriculture for their livelihood. So today we will see agriculture. We will learn about agriculture, the types of farming, the season. Okay, let's start with this chapter. So today we will learn about chapter 4, agriculture. India is an agriculturally important country. Two-thirds of its population is engaged in agricultural activities. Agriculture is a primary activity which produces most of the food that we consume. Besides food grains, agriculture also produces raw material for some industries. Can you guess which raw material or which industries? Sugarcane, corn, etc. Some agricultural products like tea, coffee, spices are also exported. So, agriculture is very important for our country. It is the primary activity and it produces food grains and raw material for various industries. So through this chapter, we have 3 learning outcomes. To understand the importance of agriculture and spatial distribution of crops in India, to understand the types of agricultural farming, primitive, primitive subsistence, intensive subsistence, and commercial farming, and to also know about the technology and institutional reforms for the benefit of Indian farmers. These are the 3 learning outcomes. So we will start with understanding agriculture. So agriculture is very important in our country. It produces most of the food that we consume, and it also produces raw material for many industries. India is the second in the world in crop output, next to China. 1.4 million square kilometers of land in India is under cultivation. Agriculture is India's biggest economic sector and it employs 52.1% of the total workforce. So let's start with a little video here.
Since ancient times, agriculture has been the foundation of Indian economy. Nearly 67% of our population is engaged in agriculture or agriculture-related activities. Besides providing food to our growing population, raw material from agriculture also supports a number of industries like cotton textiles, food processing, and handicrafts.
Also, many agricultural products like tea, coffee, spices, etc. are exported.
With the introduction of machines, chemical fertilizers, and research for better farming techniques. Cultivation methods in India have changed a lot over the years.
Agriculture is one of the oldest economic activities of our country. And so, over the years, the cultivation methods and techniques have seen a great change. These change are because of the physical environment, technological know-how, and socio-cultural practices. Presently, in different parts of India, many different farming techniques and systems are used. Farming varies from subsistence to commercial
Let us
style.
explore the main farming systems practiced in India.
There are three main farming systems: primitive subsistence farming, intensive subsistence farming, and commercial farming. In primitive subsistence farming, agriculture is practiced on small patches of land with the help of primitive tools like hoe and dowel and digging sticks. The labor in this type of farming is normally provided by family and community. This type of farming depends heavily on monsoon for irrigation, natural fertility of soil, and suitable environmental conditions. So in this type of farming, there are small patches of land and only primitive tools are used. That means no modern inputs or fertilizers can be used. Okay, these are the way they irrigate. They rely heavily on the monsoon, and most of the produce made is consumed by the farmer's family or by the community.
Subsistence farming system does not use any modern know-how like chemical fertilizers and depends entirely on local soil, environment conditions, and monsoons.
Slash and burn farming is a primitive subsistence farming technique. In this, the farmers clear a patch of land and produce cereals and other food crops to sustain their families. When the soil fertility decreases, the crops like corn, rice, millet are grown. So when they are farming on a small patch of land and they produce these crops to sustain their families, as the soil fertility decreases, the farmers shift to another fresh patch of land where they burn and clear the land and then they cultivate it. This type of shifting from one land to another allows the nature to replenish the fertility of the soil. So, because they shift from one land to another with natural processes, the soil fertility is replenished. But there is certain disadvantage to this type of farming. This type of farming gives very poor yield, and it also leads to destruction of forests. The land productivity is very, very low since the farmer does not use any fertilizers or modern input technique. This type of farming is practiced through the world and is known by different names. In Mexico, it's called milpa. In Central America, it's called conoco. It's called roca in Brazil, masole in Central Africa, ladang in Indonesia, and ray in Vietnam. Even in India, this type of farming is commonly known as jhuming. The northeastern states like Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, and Nagaland call this type of farming as jhuming. Even in India, this technique is practiced in Punjab, Haryana, part of Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and coastal borders of Andhra Pradesh.
It is known by several other names in other parts of India.
So these are the different names by which it is known in different parts of India. It's called Bevar or Dahiya in Madhya Pradesh. It's called Podu or Penda in Andhra Pradesh. It's called Pamadabi or Koman or Bringa in Orissa, Kumari in Western Ghats, Walra or Waltra in southeastern Rajasthan, Khil in the Himalayan belt, Kuruva in Jharkhand, and Jhuming in the northeastern region. Next is the intensive subsistence farming. This type of farming is practiced in areas of high population pressure or land. Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and eastern borders of Andhra Pradesh. Here, intensive subsistence farming is used. And where was slash and burn used? Slash and burn was used in Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, and in different parts of different countries. These are the places where primitive subsistence farming is used. Now we are learning intensive subsistence farming. So these are the places where intensive subsistence farming is used. These are the areas where there is high population pressure on land. Because this is a labor-intensive farming method and high doses of biochemical inputs and irrigation are used for obtaining higher productivity. So they use modern techniques to increase the production of land. The disadvantage of this type of farming is that through the right of inheritance, with successive generations, division of land takes place. And this means the size of land decreases. The farmers still continue to take maximum output from limited land because there is no alternate source of livelihood. There is enormous pressure on agricultural land. So with families growing and the lands being distributed amongst them, the economic or the livelihood isn't enough. They cannot sustain themselves. Commercial farming. The main characteristic of this type of farming is the use of higher doses of modern inputs like high yielding variety of seeds, chemical fertilizers, insecticides and pesticides, and this is all in order to gain higher productivity. Now, this brings us to plantations, which is also a type of commercial farming. In this type of commercial farming, a single crop is grown on a large area of land. Plantation is an interface of agriculture and industry. Plantation covers large tracts of land using capital intensive inputs with help of migrant laborers, and most of this produce is used as raw material for different industries. Some famous plantation crops in India are tea in Assam and North Bengal, coffee in Karnataka, rubber in Kerala, bamboo, sugarcane, cotton, and banana.
Are also forms of commercial farming. In these plantations, a single crop is cultivated over vast areas. The produce from a plantation may also serve as raw material for an industry. Did you know? Kerala accounts for nearly 90% of the rubber production in India.
Since the production in these plantations is mainly for market, in commercial farming, the production is mainly for the market. A well-developed network of transport and communication connecting the plantation areas, processing industries, and market play a very important role in development of plantation.
The cultivation of a crop can be classified as commercial or subsistence farming.
The degree of commercialization of agriculture differs from region to region. Rice is grown in all these areas that are highlighted. But in Tamil Nadu, it is a staple food. And so rice is considered as a subsistence crop. But in Punjab, it is not a subsistence crop, it's a commercial crop.
Not grow it for personal consumption, but for profit. Did you know? Punjab is called the granary of India, as it produces 14% of India's cotton, 20% of India's wheat, and 9% of India's rice. Oilseed crops like groundnut are a commercial crop in India and forms the most important portion of its agricultural economy. Its production is mainly in 4 states, namely Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. From food grains, spices, oilseeds, fruits and vegetables, to commercial crops like tea, coffee, and sugarcane, the variety of crops grown in India is truly amazing.
So we have a wide variety of crops grown in India, and we also have many methods of farming. So we come back to our PowerPoint. Over here, if you all need to see any slide for a longer period of time, just pause it and watch it, because I'm just going to quickly recap what we learned. We saw over the years, the cultivation methods have changed significantly, and farming has varies now from subsistence to commercial. We have three major types of farming: primitive subsistence farming, intensive subsistence farming, and commercial farming. In primitive subsistence farming, it is done with primitive tools. It is done on small patches of land, and they use tools like hoe, dowel, and digging stick. Family and community are the main laborers. And this type of farming depends upon monsoon and other environmental conditions. And they largely depend on the natural fertility of soil also. Slash and burn cultivation comes under this type of farming, where farmers clear a patch of land through burning it, and they start producing crops on that piece of land to sustain their family. When soil fertility decreases, the farmers shift and start cultivating on another fresh patch of land in the same way. This allows nature to replenish the fertility of soil. But the disadvantage of this type of farming is, because of low fertilizers, there is low produce, there is low yield, and it also increases deforestation. These are different names of slash and burn cultivation in India and in the world. I'm not going to read it out. We've already done it. Just go through it in your mind. Intensive subsistence farming. This is practiced in areas where there is high population pressure on land. It is labor intensive farming. So high doses of pesticides are used, or pest irrigation techniques are used, because they want high production. But now the disadvantage is, with successive generations, the land starts dividing amongst them. And with the land size decreasing, farmers still need to continue getting maximum output from limited land because of absence of alternative source of livelihood. And so there is enormous pressure on agricultural land. India has 12% of world's farmland. Commercial farming. So over here, there is high doses of modern inputs, HYB seeds, chemical fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides, and all techniques possible because they want higher productivity. So the degree of commercialization varies from region to region. We saw this because rice grown in Tamil Nadu is subsistence crop, but grown in Punjab, Haryana become commercial crop. We learned about plantations, which is a type of farming where a single crop is grown on a large piece of land. So plantations use capital intensive inputs and migrant laborers. All the produce is used as raw material in their respective industries. Famous plantations are tea plantations in Assam and North Bengal, coffee plantations in Karnataka, banana plantations in southern parts of India, rubber plantations in Kerala, bamboo plantations in northeast India are some important plantation crops. Now, since the production is mainly for the market, there needs to be a well-developed network of transport and communication that connects the plantation areas, processing industries, and market. 3 questions as homework. What is agriculture? State any 3 characteristics of commercial farming. Mention different names with which slash and burn type farming is known in India. Name the states in which this farming is practiced. And name any 2 crops grown in this type of farming. I'll reread the questions. What is agriculture? State any 3 characteristics of commercial farming. Mention different names with which slash and burn type of farming is known in India. Name the states in which this type of farming is practiced. And name any 2 crops grown in this type of farming. Question 3 is altogether 1. Okay? And I'm going to attach some notes in the description box of this video. Please write them down in your notebook. With this, I end today's class. Stay home, stay safe, take care, and keep learning.